Today we're looking at Matthew 24 Redux. By that I mean that many Christian systems are going back to Matthew 24 in a way, and back to an historicist, what's called a historicist or a preterist interpretation of Jesus' prophecy there about his second coming or his parousia and the end of the age. So it's one question in two parts is asked in Matthew 24, verse 3, for example. And this is throughout the Gospels. And then the question is the end of the age. So this historicist or preterist view sees the end of the age as the end of Torah or the Old Covenant age. Now I'll tell you why this is not right. The end of the age equals the final judgment and the resurrection. So it means the judgment of the wicked nations of the earth, according to Daniel, and this is the go-to prophet of Jesus. This is what Jesus bases his prophecy on. And then you have there in Daniel 12:13 an allusion, if you will, to this phrase end of the age with end of days. So at the end of this prophecy of Daniel, the angel says to him, these things will occur at the end of days or at the end of the age, as some translations have it. So in Matthew 13, we see this phrase used in reference to the parable of the tares, which Jesus says means the end of the harvest. And you can compare that to Revelation 14. And in the same chapter, there's a parable of the dragnet or the fish gathered by angels, and the wicked are thrown in Gehenna, in the lake of fire. Furthermore, the Redux interpretation, the historicist preterist, confuses the covenants with two-stage age worldview. In other words, this was the Jewish view that Jesus knew and the apostles as Jews. So you have the present evil age and the age to come. That was their timeline. So the parousia, as you can see, is smack in the middle there. The parousia is supposed to bring an end to this present evil age and inaugurate or begin the age to come. This is not difficult to grasp, and it's not difficult to find in any good commentary, dictionary, scholarly work. You can ask a rabbi today, and I believe they still have this understanding that we are in a present evil age, and most Orthodox rabbis expect an age to come. Dr. James Dunn, in his book Theology of Paul, says the contrast between a present age dominated by evil and an age to come is explicitly drawn only in the later Jewish apocalypses of the book of Ezra and Baruch, but it is a natural development of such seminal passages as the vision in Daniel 2 and 7 was implicit in Qumran's talk of the time of wickedness, and was probably already part of the Jesus tradition. So the cross and nothing else ended Torah, the Old Covenant, not the parousia as the end of the age. Now this is a clear New Testament teaching found in Luke and John, and of course in the Pauline letters. I guess I should have put there Ephesians, where Paul says that the ordinances, the regulations of Torah were nailed on the cross. So to say that when Jesus said the end of the age, he meant 70 AD, the destruction of the temple, or even worse, his death, that's what the end of the age meant, I think it's wholly outside the biblical witness here. The NABRE Bible, here it's symbolic of Jesus' resurrection and the resulting community. So it's a symbol, if you will. So Jesus had preached this gospel about the coming kingdom of God and to make disciples of all nations to the very end of the age. That's in Matthew 28. So this is the popularly known Great Commission. That's the work all Christians should be doing until, as you can see there, Jesus said the end of the age. So if that happened at his death, or even more so in 70 AD, then obviously we don't have a Great Commission work to do now, do we? We shouldn't be doing it. Basically, if we follow this logic of the Redux reading of Matthew 24.